I'm ready to bust some myths. Hi everybody, welcome back to Brailsford Family Homestead. I'm Darcy. I'm out here enjoying this beautiful fall weather, and I wanted to bring you along and share some things with you. There are some myths out there that are preventing people from starting their homestead journey, and I want to make sure that you're not one of them. I want to encourage you to get started and that you can do this. Whenever anybody finds out I'm a homesteader, there are certain questions they ask, and a lot of them have to do with these myths. So let's go do some chores and I'll talk to you about my top 6. Number 1 is that you have to be an early riser to be a homesteader. Completely false. You can be whatever riser as long as it works for you, your family, and your homestead. The thing is we want success for the long haul, and if being an early riser doesn't work for you and how your family operates, then nix that and do what works for you. Animals adapt very easily. Also, things like free-ranging chickens don't mix with darkness and low light situations. Here in Southwest Ohio, my biggest predator pressure would be during low light and darkness, which that'll preach about us too. Keep your light bright. Number 2, you need a barn. Nope, you don't. Yes, they are great, they are beautiful and have all kinds of uses, but they are not a requirement, especially when you're getting started. You have to look at what your goals are for your homestead, what animals you may be getting, to see if there's ever a need for one. We don't have a barn. Our shelters are hoop houses. We do have a structure for a coop and a run. All of those things we built after coming here fairly inexpensively and a little bit at a time. Now for storing hay, we now have a metal shed that we keep our hay in. We started out with pallets and a tarp to keep our hay dry and accessible. Then we went to a tent shed before we moved to a metal shed. Do we want a barn for those things? Yes, but they are not a requirement. You need all of the things. Like all of the things on those really long Amazon wish lists. You know we all have them. No, you don't. You don't need all of the things. You need to build your homestead on a pace that is sustainable for you, both physically, mentally, and for your wallet. So the pace may be fast for some and slow for others, but do what you can with what you have, what you could borrow, what you could rent, and obviously what you can afford. Number 4, you've got to do it all, grow and raise it all. No, you do not. Though, yes, we love sustainability. We love to be able to grow our own food and raise our own food. Not all of that is possible all of the time. You have to figure out what you can sustain with your family in the season that you're in, because seasons change from having little babies in the house to teenagers to being empty nesters to both parties working or only one or being single. You have to figure out what works for you in the season that you're in. Also, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. We're not keeping up with the Joneses here in the homestead movement, right? So you pick 1 or 2 things that you want to try, animals or growing trees, plants, whatever. Find those things, learn about them, and do them well. Then learn to do them even better. But if you decide you don't like them, just stop. You don't like chickens? Quit raising chickens. You don't like tomatoes? Don't grow 50 tomato plants. It's as easy as that. Do what works best for you and your homestead. Number 5, you have to have a lot of land to start a homestead. No, you don't. I am standing in my back pasture, but to be honest, it is largely unused. Some of it is not fenced, and we only go back there to maintain it. Eventually we will, but you do not need a lot of space. A lot of animals take up a surprisingly small amount of space, and you can do a lot in container gardens, on patios, on decks, and small backyards. I started out doing containers on my deck and straw bale gardening in my suburban home. So you don't need a lot of land to get started. Number 6 is that it should be Pinterest perfect and Instagram worthy. No, It does not need to be that. I, just like so many others, love the pictures I see of these beautiful farmhouses and homesteads where everything is clean and pristine and perfect. And if you're able to maintain that, God bless you. I personally am not able to sustain that here. It's just not practical. Not to mention it can be very expensive. So here, case in point. Is this Instagram worthy? Well, not by some people's standards, but it is my homestead and it is functional for me. And my heart motivation in having a homestead, it has nothing to do with how I appear to other people or how it will appear on social media. If your homestead dreams are stopped by that, by fear of man and how you will appear to others, then I challenge you to deal with that heart issue first, because that has nothing to do with a true homestead. What we need to do is something beautiful for our family, with our family, which is not always Pinterest perfect. I hope these 6 things encouraged you somehow to go ahead and get started or to go for more on your homestead. I appreciate you coming along. If this video was encouraging and helpful to you, please consider giving it a like, sharing it on your social media, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, God bless.